Hi, everyone. Hi, Toddy, Dipasha, Terry, and Esmate.
Hi.
Hey, Feynman.
Well, Toddy, I didn't um saw that you were able to join us today. I think you are at Build conference.
Yeah, I'm actually driving. I'm on my phone. So.
Okay, that's good. Okay, we will need to wait for another 2 or 3 minutes for others to join us. Just kindly reminder that we have some folks out of office today, like Sajay, Shui, and Andrew is not be able to join us today as he has conflicts with this community meeting. I use the Sensitive ORAS project account since I want to live stream the Zoom meeting to YouTube, but it seems this is the first time to enable live stream, so it requires 24 hours to wait for YouTube platform to approve our live stream. So we will be able to do the live stream next meeting.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, E. Let's wait for another 1 or 2 minutes to get started. I just shared today's agenda in our chat box. So if you have any topics or questions you want to add to our agenda, feel free to add to this Hackathon doc. Thanks. All right, I think we are good to start today's meeting. I will continue to be today's moderator for our community meeting. And we are looking for volunteers who will be able to, who can help us to host the meeting and gather topics from the community. So if you are interested and you think you can help us to host this meeting, feel free to let us know. I will share my screen and also share today's agenda. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We have 5 topics added to today's agenda. The first one would be the request ORAS maintainers to review estimate nomination PR. Let me open that link. So estimate is the LFX mentee who helped us to refactor and build the new ORAS website, as you may know already. I would like to give the opportunity for estimate to explain what does he do for ORAS and what the contributions in the past few months. So Esmate, would you like to introduce about this nomination issue?
Yep, sure. So, hello folks. I've been like contributing to the ORAS www repository since past 3 months, and my main focus was to develop the new website for ORAS. And for that, I used a completely new framework called DocuService and made around 13 pull requests. Out of them, 10 are merged and 2 are waiting for the review, I guess. And also, I've been helping new mentees to join the ORAS community and navigate through various issues, helping them solve various problems that they're facing while setting up the repository as well. So yeah, that's why I opened a PR by with the consultation of Finman that should I be nominated or not, and he said, yeah, like, go ahead with it. So I created a PR nominating myself.
Thanks, Esmate. Actually, I think ORAS governance guide doesn't have a very clear definition to the contributor ladder. So what's the strict criteria for nominating a new sub-project owner? But generally speaking, I think Esmate is qualified to become an ORAS maintainer for ORAS website sub-project. As you can see, he has 13 PRs merged into main branch, and currently we are looking for super majority of approval from our ORAS maintainers to review and approve Esmate's self-nomination. And by the way, Esmate is willing to maintain the ORAS website project in the long term, and he also applies to become a mentor for 2 ORAS project in the second term of LFX mentorship. So I think Esmate is quite, Esmate helped us to do a lot of things in the past few months, and I believe he will be able to help us maintain the website and content, and also the design up to date. But unfortunately, Sajay, Shui, and Steve, Vanessa, other maintainers are not in today's meeting, as most of them are out of office or for other reasons. So I will tag those folks to review it offline. Carrie and I have approved for this nomination request. So if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to let us know. And in parallel, we will prepare a contributor ladder to define the criteria of nominating a new sub-project owner or maintainer. All right, if there's no more questions, I think we can jump to the second item related to the, yeah, I see there's a chat. Okay. The second item would be talking about Artifact Explorer project. Sorry, I missed one word, Explorer. I will quickly go through what we want to do for this project, and talking about its current project plan. So as you may know, we have submitted this Artifact Explorer web portal project to LFX mentorship program recently. So we are looking for a qualified mentee to help us design and develop this Artifact Explorer web portal based on ORAS Go library. And eventually we will deliver this Artifact Explorer web portal on the ORAS.land, the current ORAS website. I think the general project goal is to improve the efficiency of image developers and artifact users through the Artifact Explorer web portal with ORAS library under the hood. We want this tool to help users to explore and search the content of an OCI artifact in all public registries. So for users, this tool will reduce the CLI learning cost and improve their efficiency to use ORAS to explore and discover the content, such as the OCI artifact and images, as well as its associated referrals. And users will not need to memorize and type the CLI commands to explore the content of an OCI artifact in those registries. I have already listed some expected outcomes as the proposed features for this Artifact Explorer, but we don't limit it to this feature list. And I would like to gather ideas and feature requirements from the community. And by the way, we also have two interested contributors, interested mentees who share their early prototype implementation with us. There are two repositories which are available to review in the local. I will share those two project links in our chat box. Wait for seconds. I shared two links that were shared by two interested mentees who did an early prototype for the ORAS Artifact Explorer project. And they use ORAS Go library as an API to build the front end. You can take a look at those projects if you are interested. Back to this issue, back to this proposal, I think generally, we want to provide a web portal to view the content of OCI artifacts in all public registries, and users can also drill down into the detailed content of an image manifest or a detailed layer, image layer. Users can also view the artifact reference graph, such as the result provided by ORAS Discover command. And users can also view and download the supply chain artifacts or any referrals, like signature, SBON, attestation file, and vulnerability scanning report from the web portal. There are some other capabilities we want to deliver for this project. Like we can also build the Artifact Explorer based on the new search API capabilities, but this is still in a very early discussion. We see potential from that search API capabilities, and we can combine that capabilities, that search capabilities into our Artifact Explorer. Last but not least, we are thinking if we can provide the capability to explore the images file system of each layer or blob. So this is the current features and maybe scenarios we want to provide for the Artifact Explorer project. So I would leave others who are interested in this project or you have any ideas to share. let me type this, let me copy and paste this issue in our chat box. And by the way, there's already a similar tool named gcrr.dev, which is provided by Crane, a similar registry client tool with ORAS, but it is only support Crane, and the output format is just support plain JSON. I personally think that is a little bit technical and OCI specific experience. So we want to deliver this web portal, this ORAS artifact explorer web portal in a user-friendly and have a registry-like view for normal users and also OCI artifact developers. Yeah, Asma shared that link about another similar tool, ggcr.dev Explorer. And currently we have two maintainers, two contributors to Menti candidates who shared their initial implementation for the Artifact Explorer project, and even Vasu, a candidate who shared an initial design for this project. I tried it in my local, and it can work fine with exploring the content in Docker Hub, but the output is still very rough, and we need to improve it in the long term. But I think this is enough for a prototype project. Another project is from Gary, another mentee, another candidate who applied to ORAS Artifact Explorer project. He recorded a video for this Artifact Explorer project and also supported Docker Hub to list the OCI images in Docker Hub and view its content. So folks, do you guys have any ideas or questions related to this issue, this proposal?
Are we going to create a new repo for this project?
I'm thinking if we can leverage the ORAS www repository to implement this project, but it is also acceptable to create a new repo if we need a brand new code and architecture for that project. This is a good question, and it depends on how can we implement this project. Tony and Yi, do you have any specific suggestions or ideas about the Artifact Explorer web portal?
No, I don't have anything specific. Just similar to Terry. Do we need a separate repository or not? And is depending on the design. So I don't know what is the plan for the design and when we're gonna make a decision whether we need a separate repository.
Okay. Actually, I have an open question for you guys to consider. our initial goal is to support all of those OCI all of those public OCI registries like CHCR, DocHub, and other public registries. So I'm thinking if we need to support private registries like the cloud registries or sort registries, but it requires the web portal to be able to read the user's credential, the registry credential, and it might be not a good practice from security's perspective, I'm thinking. So the question would be if we need to support those private registries for this project.
I would assume that actually public registries will be a little late on kind of adding additional OCI artifacts. So maybe private registries at the beginning will have more OCI artifacts than public. That's kind of my expectation. I may be completely wrong, but that was also one question that was in my mind. So is it only for public ones or is it also for private? And if it is for private, we may have some security kind of implications there because nobody will want to actually pass the username and password for their private registry.
Yes, that's correct. Also from compliance considerations, I think as a open source and free online tool, require users to put their credentials for registry might not be a good practice. So this is the thing that we are still considering if we are able to support private registry or not. But anyway, we will start from supporting all of those public OCI registries in the first phase. All right, if we don't have additional thoughts or ideas for this project proposal, I will leave it for offline discussion, and I will tag other ORAS maintainers who are not present in this meeting. Next item would be the ORAS. Allow ORAS command to skip reverse index cleanup. I'm not sure Billy is able to speak as he had a pandemic yesterday. So if Billy, if you are not able to speak, I think maybe I can help you to explain what we want to do and the detailed proposals, what the detailed proposals like.
Yes, please. My throat is swollen, but I cannot speak. Please go ahead.
You mean, Peter, you mean you hope me to have a quick walkthrough to the issue, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I think this proposal from Billy is to change the default behavior of ORAS CLI. You know, ORAS CLI will help users to clean up those outdated reverse index and delete those outdated reverse index from registry. So it might not be the responsibility for an OCI registry client like ORAS. So we are thinking if it is possible to skip the deletion manipulation and provide the responsibility for users to do the garbage collection action, sorry. So we are proposing add a new flag, garbage collection, aka GC, for ORAS attach, ORAS copy, and ORAS manifest push and delete command to allow users to skip deleting the dangling reverse index. This is the current proposal for adding a new flag, and it will change the default behavior of ORAS. And I also had a similar issue opened in ORAS. I will forward those two issues link in your chat box. First one is this one. So I will explain what will that error message happen when we use ORAS with OCI v1.0 compliant registries, or those registries that don't support deletion API. So when you use ORAS command like ORAS attach or ORAS push with OCI v1 compliant registries such as GXCR or .hub, ORAS will return an unexpected error message which is similar to this one: failed to delete dangling reverse index, and with a long log like this. So this is the default behavior. ORAS will attempt to delete the outdated reverse index for garbage collection purposes. But we are thinking this is the responsibility for registry operators, and end users may not care about this dangling reverse index stored in the registry. So as a OCI registry client, ORAS may not have the responsibility to help users delete those dangling reverse index automatically. So this is what we want to propose for deleting the OCI dangling reverse index in the upcoming release. And I remember Steve Laska had a comment on this kind of scenario. Steve thought ORAS as a client should not remove the historical reverse index from the registry. This is out of scope for a registry client, and it should be the responsibility for users or registry operators to do that. We cannot remove the history, and especially those legacy assets from users' registry. So we should grant the permission and the responsibility for users to do that. So that is also the reason that we want to add a flag to allow users manually delete the dangling reverse index. So by default, if this new flag is not set, dangling reverse index, or we say those outdated reverse will not be cleaned up by ORAS. But if we add this flag in those commands, the cleanup action will be automatically executed by ORAS. I'm not sure if I explained clear for this proposal, Billy.
Yes, mostly, but this only applies to OCI spec 1.0 registries with deletion disabled. And we're trying to optimize the user experience for that kind of user. Yes, that's all.
As you mentioned, that OCI spec doesn't have a definition to require a registry client to clean up, and it is an optional action for the OCI client. Can you point out which line of the distribution spec defined this definition?
The spec doesn't mention the cleanup.
I also didn't find related description about the cleanup from the distribution spec. So it seems it has not defined that behavior, right?
No, it just doesn't mention, it doesn't either recommend or not recommend. So it's all up to the client.
Gotcha. So I will leave others to think about this proposal, as it will change the default behavior of the ORAS command. Terry and Toddy, do you have any thoughts regarding this change?
Nothing for me, Ed. I mean, what you're saying makes sense.
Same here. I am curious, so if the registry or if the OCI spec doesn't mention any cleanup, I'm curious why we assume that this is responsibility of the registry, but I think implementing the flag will be useful.
So Todd, you also agree that we can skip the default deletion manipulation in ORAS and provide a new flag to allow users to manually delete those dangling refers index, right? Since the OCI spec doesn't have a recommendation for that.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so I think Billy, the next step would be define the output, the input and output, especially for the logs, the error logs, and when users execute the successful logs, what does those logs look like? I think we missed that part in this proposal, so I will help you to define those outputs.
Freeman, one comment. I don't know whether this is a good idea that we can create an issue in the OCI distribution spec repo to mention this, because it is not clear in the spec. Maybe there are already some ongoing work or some source from the OCI guys. So yeah, this is just an idea.
So that's a good question, in my opinion.
From ORAS point of view, I think with this flag we are flexible, so it's good. Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't follow up very tightly with the upstream distribution spec, but I do think we can consult OCI community to provide suggestions if they are going to, or there's already an issue to plan for the cleanup recommendation. If this, to define if this responsibility belongs to the OCI registry client or belongs to the registry. But from my investigation, all of those OCI registries already support garbage collection. So if from the registry side, from the client side, if we disable the default deletion behavior, I think registry will also take the responsibility of cleaning up those outdated refers cleanup. Sylvia and Billy, do you have any thoughts about the OCI spec? I think we can consult OCI, maybe OCI community committee for our scenario.
Yeah, I agree with me that we can ask this question in the OCI community. And maybe we can talk to Sajay.
Yeah, Sajay is a maintainer for image spec. It seems this might belongs to the distribution spec definition.
Oh. Okay, interesting. Then we can just open an issue then. I can follow up with this.
Okay. So before we make this change and implementation, let's first consult the OCI distribution maintainers and see if there is any plan from their OCI distribution perspective. If not, I think we can make choice from the client side.
Oh, I see Toddy mentioned that he can ask this question in the OCI meetings.
Yeah, thank you, Toddy. Okay, I think we can back to this agenda. So Billy, do you still have any concerns or questions? If not, we will back to our agenda and move on to the next item. All right, I think Billy may not be able to speak as his throat is not feeling well. So we will continue to follow up that issue in ORAS and in both ORAS and OCI. So the next item would be discuss the ORAS Go v2.2.0 release ETA date. As I heard from ORAS Go maintainers, Sylvia mentioned that ORAS want to cut a release based on the current main branch instead of our previous milestone for v2.2.0. So Sylvia, could you provide more context about the ORAS Go release?
Yeah, sure. We are planning to release a minor version of ORAS Go, which is v2.2.0 this week. And this release will include the mount feature and a bug fix. I will create a vote today. And after the ORAS Go is released, we will bump up the Go dependency in ORAS credentials Go and release v0.2.0. Those releases are to support the release of notation v1.0.0 RC.6.
Actually, I have a question regarding this release.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a milestone to check all of those issues that we planned in v2.2.0, right? There's a milestone here, and we have some issues tagged with this milestone. We have 7 issues opened, so that means we wanna skip those issues and tag tag it from current main branch. Is that correct?
I think we can move those open issues to the next milestone. And for now, we just release currency what we have.
So the purpose is to use this minor release for ORAS credential Go and also notation RC6, right? This is to support.
We released the ORAS Go and ORAS credentials Go, so the notation RC6 can consume them.
Why not consider
That's
a
the
patch
purpose.
release? Okay, why not consider a patch release like v2.2.1 and include the change happening in the main branch, such as
Because there's a feature, there's a new feature, the second commits. There's a feature to support the mount API, so it will be a minor version.
Okay, gotcha. So Terry, I know you are also quite active in reviewing ORAS Go PR. So any thoughts on cutting a new release based on the main branch and include, I think we will include these 4 commits for the upcoming minor release v2.2.0.
You know, it sounds great to me. I'm just curious when we're gonna cut a new or a CLI release, really, but that's another topic.
You mean when will ORAS CLI integrate this minor release, this new release, right?
Yeah, and the Go scripting stuff would be nice to get out there.
That's a good question. I see in our CLI, we have a plan for v1.1.0. In that milestone, I think ORAS will support the latest ORAS Go release. So we will need to triage all of those issues planned in ORAS v1.1.0 and see if it is essential for ORAS CLI to bump up the ORAS Go dependency after we cut a release, after we cut a v2.2.0 for ORAS Go. We will triage the ORAS CLI issues planned in ORAS 1.1 and see a proper date for cutting the new release for ORAS CLI and consume the latest ORAS Go dependency.
Yeah, and regarding the deleting the dangling refers index, we also have a issue in ORAS Go, and we will implement that after v2.2.0.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that is the prerequisites for the ORAS to support the minus GC flag.
Yeah, I think that's a plan post v2.2.0.
Yes.
Another question regarding the ORAS credential Go. As you know, we had that dependency in ORAS CLI. So if we wanted ORAS CLI to use the latest features powered by the ORAS credential Go, is there any dependency that we need to bump up to the latest ORAS Go if we cut the new minor release?
For ORAS credentials Go, there's no new features in the new version. The new version will be just to consume the latest version of ORAS Go and a minor error message improvements.
So that means it is not necessary to bump up to the latest ORAS Go version in ORAS CLI immediately.
Yeah, it is not necessary.
Okay.
Not in a hurry.
It's not a hurry request. Thank you, Sylvia. I think we can track all of those issues then in ORAS-CLI v1.1.0 after this meeting and find a proper date for ORAS-CLI new release. So for this release, I think we will submit the issue this week and ask other maintainers to vote for this release. Siva, you will follow up with this item, right?
Yeah, I will create a vote.
Okay. So I think we finished all of those 4 items. And the last one is added by Andrew from Red Hat. But unfortunately, he has conflicts with today's meeting, so he will not join us today. But he shared some updates from the recent CNCF artifact tag, I think, from artifact tag group. And they have their first meeting on last Friday and share some notes and charter. I think we may not need to go through the details from CNCF artifacts tag meeting. I would recommend you guys to have a quick look at those meeting notes and charter, and also the recording to catch up some key takeaways from their first meeting. This is a doc that we already reviewed before. Regarding the artifact working group or artifact tag, since Andrew is not here and Alex Wong is also attending today's meeting, so we don't have specific questions or discussion around this item. Hardy, do you have any questions? I can also follow up with Andrew offline.
No, I don't have any questions. Thanks, Feynman.
Okay, I will also take a look at those meeting notes and recordings and share any potential actionable items and key takeaways that we need to focus for our working group, our search API working group. It seems they have very diverse engagement for the first meeting. That's great. I will follow it up offline and share some key takeaways with you folks if we need to keep an eye on it. All right, I think we finished all of those 5 items discussion in today's meeting. I think we have 11 minutes left. We can send this time back to you folks. Any questions or topics you want to discuss? If not, maybe we can end up this meeting earlier, and we will be able to share the recording after this meeting as I get access to the YouTube and Zoom account last month.
Thank you, Feynman.
Thank you, Feynman. Have a nice day.
Thank you,
Thanks,
folks.
everyone.
Take care.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.